Hi everyone! Welcome to one more class of the English Submarine. Today we are going to study the question word how long connected to the perfect tense, the present perfect, simple, the present perfect, continuous mostly. Before we start, let's recap. What's a question word? A question word is a word that usually starts with WH or, as in this case, only H, and it carries the most important question in a sentence. What is it really that you want to know? What's going to be answered? For example, if I ask you, where are you going? Where expresses the most important part of my question. It's my question word. It's a word I use in questions that carries the most important meaning, the most important idea, the strongest question I want to know. I want to have an answer to. So, where are you going? I am going home, for example. When I answer to this question, I remove the question word and I substitute the question word by my answer. So, where are you going? I am going. Oops. I am going home. And this is my answer. So, I hope it's clear what a question word is. If it's not, leave a comment and I will answer you. Okay? So, now that we made it clear what's a question word, we're going to talk today about this specific question word, how long, and how it's used with the present perfect, simple, and continuous. Okay? Let's go. So, what is the question behind how long? What do you want to know when you ask how long? When you ask how long, you want to know the total duration of an action that started in some moment of the past and continues until the present time. So you have the past present connection, which is a characteristic of the present perfect, simple and continuous. And when you ask how long, you want to know this total duration of this action. So I have here two examples, like two dialogues for you, two very short dialogues, just to illustrate a possible situation with the usage of how long. I study English. This is a fact about me. This is personal information. I study English. So, I study, my sentence is in the simple present. Because it's a personal information. It's a fact about me. I study English. So, how long have you been studying it? Now, I use how long because I want to know the total duration of my action or of the action of the other person about studying English. How long have you been studying it? If it's a fact, we know that it's not something recent, it's not something new. So we know that it started in the past and it continues in the present time. We want to know how long. So we use here the question word how long. And here we have the present perfect. Is it simple or continuous? We have 1, 2 auxiliary verbs, and the main verb is in ing form. So it's the present perfect continuous, right? So here it is, present perfect continuous. And the how long. All right? The second example, I am a teacher. It's the same situation as in the first one, now with a different action. I am a teacher, personal information. It's a fact about me, I am a teacher. So it's in the simple present. Then you ask me, how long have you been teaching? You want to know the total duration of one action that started in the past and continues in the present. This is very important. The action must continue in the present. Okay? How long have you been teaching? I have been teaching for 11 years. Or I have been a teacher for 11 years. When I say I have been teaching for 11 years, it's the present perfect continuous. But if I say I have been a teacher for 11 years, then it's the present perfect simple. Okay? So, simple present, present perfect continuous. Simple present, present perfect continuous. How long? It's a question word that wants to know the total duration of an action that started in the past and continues in the present. All right? I have here some more examples just to illustrate one small observation I want to make. Okay? Remember my friend Sandra? So, Sandra is dating someone. Okay? This is a fact, and she's dating someone in the present time, so I can use the present continuous in this case. But then I say, wow, that's great. How long have they been dating? So, have been dating, present perfect continuous. How long? I want to know the total duration of the action. How long have they been dating? They have been dating for 3 years. And how long have they known each other? They have known each other for 3.5 years. Okay? So, how long have they known each other is the present perfect simple. Even though it's more usual to have the present perfect continuous with the question how long, sometimes depending on the verb, you cannot use the continuous form. Like here we have the verb to know. It's a stative verb. Remember that? When you have stative verbs, they don't go to ing form. So you must use the simple, but the idea is the same, okay? Also, I say, they have known each other for 3.5 years and they have been dating for 3 years. But they haven't seen each other for over a month because we've all been quarantined. So, it's not only about the total duration of an action that's going on. It's also about the total time something hasn't been done. Okay? You haven't done something or an action hasn't happened. The total duration all the time. Not only things that are happening, but also in the case of negative sentences, things that are not happening. Okay? Now, let's go to our material. Unit 11. How long have you been? Study this example situation. So, first let's look at the picture. We have a couple. They are Dan and Jenny, Jenny and Dan. And Dan is holding a card. It says 20th wedding anniversary. So let's read together. Dan and Jenny are married. They got married exactly 20 years ago. So today is their 20th wedding anniversary. They have been married for 20 years. We say they are married, present, because this is personal information. Remember, when we have personal information, we use the present simple. But when you mention the total duration of something that's still going on, we use the present perfect. How long have they been married? Is the present perfect, not how long are they married. You say they have been married for 20 years, not they are married for 20 years. Different verb tenses for different situations. Okay? So let's continue reading. We use the present perfect to talk about something that began in the past and still continues now. Compare the present and the present perfect. So, first of all, here we have some drawings, some graphics. We have the past and you have now. The past, when it's moving towards the present, we have the present perfect. And when something is only in the present time, only now, is the present simple. Let's read the examples together. Compare the present and the present perfect. Paul is in hospital, but he's been in hospital since Monday. So if I only want to give the news about Paul for somebody, I say Paul is in hospital. Here I'm focusing on his present situation. But then I can say he's been in hospital since Monday to say to the person how long he has been to the hospital. And not Paul is in hospital since Monday, we don't say that. Second example. Do you know each other well? But have you known each other for a long time? Not do you know. The third example. She's waiting for somebody, but she's been waiting all morning. Once again, depends on the focus you are giving the action. Do you want to talk about now or do you want to talk about the entire action? The last example, do they have a car? But how long have they had their car? Okay, let's go to section B. I have known, lived, etc. is the present perfect simple. I have been learning, been waiting, been doing, etc. is the present perfect continuous. We've already studied this both verb tenses in units 7, 8, 9, and 10, right? When we ask or say how long, the continuous is more usual. It doesn't mean it's the only possibility. It just means it's more used. For example, I've been learning English for 6 months. It's been raining since lunchtime. Richard has been doing the same job for 20 years. How long have you been driving? Since I was 17. And once again, let's remember that we have stative verbs, and with these verbs, we don't use continuous forms. Some verbs, for example, know, like, believe, are not normally used in the continuous. For example, how long have you known Jane? And not how long have you been knowing? We don't say that. I've had a pain in my stomach all day, and not I've been having, because the verb to have, it's only possible to use it in the continuous form in some specific situations we are going to see further ahead. Okay? Now let's go to section C. You can use either the present perfect continuous or simple with live and work. So with these two verbs, there isn't really much difference. If you use the simple or if you use the continuous, both are the same. For example, Julia has been living or has lived here for a long time. There's no difference in meaning. How long have you been working or how long have you worked here? Also no difference. But you must use the simple I've lived, I've done, etc. with always, okay? So if you use the word always, you must use the simple form. I've always lived in the country. Not I've always been living in the country. No, no, no. Okay? Finally, on the section D, we say I haven't done something since or for present perfect simple. So, this is a usual expression. When you say something you haven't done for some time, it's normally not the continuous, okay? So, I haven't seen Tom since Monday. Monday was the last time I saw him. Sarah hasn't phoned for ages. The last time she phoned was ages ago. And this is it for our unit 11. So this is it, everyone. Thank you so much for your company through this one more class. I hope you've learned. And if you still have a doubt after all our discussion, please leave a comment and I'll be glad to help you. Okay? And see you next time on our next journey. Bye bye.